What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I got a really cool knife for you guys to take a look at today. I should have done this overview a couple of months ago. Well, probably a month or 6 weeks ago. But somehow it ended up in the bottom of a box for the knife sales, and I completely forgot it was in there. So I should have done this much sooner because this is a fantastic knife. It really is. But before we get into that, I am using a different setup here in this video. This is the first video I have used it. Rearranged some things and changed the way I'm doing the videos so I can use some high-tech stuff like this. Zoom in, show you that zirconie up close like that without having to lift it up to the camera. Zoom out. So hopefully this works out a little better and I can get you guys some better shots. And with this setup, I should be able to make sure I keep the knives in the frame much easier because I can actually see the screen now and see where I am on camera. Before I could not tell where I was at on camera. I'd have to look at it when I set it up and remember, you know, where to keep the knife. So now I can actually see the knife as I'm recording it. So this should work out much better for you guys. Easier for me also, but yeah, should be better for you guys. Less of me pulling the knife off the camera. So let me give you the specs on this knife real quick. Overall length is 7.7 inches, blade length's 3.5 inches, blade stock's 150 thousandths. It's a stonewash finish M390 blade. Titanium frame lock. The titanium has been blasted and tumbled. The original hardware, the pocket clip and back spacer are the same, blasted and tumbled titanium. Carbon fiber overlays here that have had cutouts done in the show side that goes through the carbon fiber and the titanium. On the lock side, it just goes through the carbon fiber. Obviously, they couldn't go through the titanium because it would cut through the lock bar. Honestly, I think they could have just done without that. Let's give us another 1/10 or 2/10 of an ounce of weight. I think it'd look better that way. Personally, I'm not a big fan of holes in handles, but it definitely does keep the weight down. The weight on this knife, I did weigh it. It is, with the zirconie kit, it's 3.5 ounces even. It will be a little less with the titanium. Zirconie is definitely heavier metal than titanium is. So I would guess 3.3 ounces maybe with the titanium kit, 3.2, somewhere in that range. But as it is right now, 3.5 ounces. The handle to blade ratio, and this is as good as you can get on a knife. It really is. I mean, you can't ask for any more than that. And you cannot touch that tip. The back spacer protects you from getting to it. So, yeah, great design here. I don't know who the OEM is on this knife. On the older models of this knife, I found they were done by Wiha. I don't think this one was done by Wiha. I think this was done by either Bestech or Riat. I think it's Riat, but I can't confirm that. I've tried to confirm it online. If anybody out there knows, this is the MK3, the newest variation of this knife. Comment below and let me know. I think this is done by Riat, but I'm having a hard time confirming that. So if somebody out there can help me with that, I would greatly appreciate it. The action on this knife is fantastic. It really is fantastic. It has a great detent. The detent break is a little bit late. It's right there, so it is a little bit late. But if you just hold it over, just hold the lock bar over till it goes past it, the tang of the blade will hit your nail like that, and it just drops. So it's not really a big deal with this one, because with some knives, especially flipper knives, if the detent break is late and has a flipper and it hits your thumb before it hits the detent break, then you're moving your thumb trying to push the blade out of the way. With this, that's not an issue. You just let it go. It's so glassy smooth, it's just going to drop. I have not oiled this knife or anything, and it is like it's on glass. Beautiful action on this knife. Beautiful, beautiful action. Ergos are also really good on this knife. You don't have a finger choil on this one, so I love finger choils, but honestly, it's so comfortable back here, I don't think it's necessary. I think it could have benefited from a little bit of jimping out here on the spine of the blade, but it's not bad because your index finger's really locked in right there, so it's not a big deal. With a medium-sized hand, you can see where I'm at, fully choked up. Still got a little room back there, so a large hand would be fine with this. This is almost an 8-inch knife, but it's super lightweight, so it doesn't feel like an 8-inch knife in your hand. And this knife, you know, this is one of those knives, for some reason, for me, when I look at this knife, the blade almost looks longer than the handle, you know. It's an optical illusion, I'm sure, but the blade I guess the shape of the blade and the shape of the handle just makes the blade almost look longer than the handle, which I know it can't be, but man, the action's amazing. All right, let's do some size comparisons real quick. Let's try my new little trick here. Let's get you in a little closer for that size comparison. Get that centered right there. All right, what are we going to compare it to? Let's go ahead and do the tactile rock wall. Quite a bit larger than a rock wall. So it's a full-size knife and only 3.5 ounces, so pretty impressive. We have to do a Benchmade bug out. We always do. Got probably a 1/4 inch on the bug out. We got to do a pair of 3. You may want to put your sunglasses on for this pair of 3. Just, you've been warned. Probably got a 1/2 inch or so on the pair of 3. AD 20.5. Got to do one of those. Actually, let me do the other AD 20.5 because it's longer than the shark's foot. It's gonna be, actually, I think it's gonna be very close in size to this knife with the blade shape and everything. Yeah, those two are a very good comparison to each other. But look at the difference in handle to blade ratio between those two knives. Look how much more blade you get on the Primordial than you do on the AD 20.5, right? Handle's quite a bit longer, blade's quite a bit shorter. So the ratios in this knife are fantastic. They really are. Did a great job. I really want to check out some more of A.Purvis's designs after getting this one in hand. Here's the Devo Stout. Very similar in length, almost identical. The Stout's just a tiny bit thicker than the Primordial, but not by much. What else we got here? If you're in this price range, you're probably looking at stuff like this. The Hinder XM18. The Quiet Carry Drift, one of the top 10 knives of the year. Even though it may not have came out this year, this is knife perfection right there, guys. Knife perfection. Really is. EDC perfection. Here's the Damn Designs Fenrir. A little bit shorter than the Fenrir. And thinner than the Fenrir. What else we got here? We always do a QSP Penguin. Thickness wise, these two are pretty much identical. Liner lock Penguin and this knife, thickness wise, are identical. And we'll do one more here that people will recognize. I think a lot of you guys got one of these, so we will do this. The APurvis Bladeworks Variant PE2. PE3 pre-order was on Christmas Day. And you guys order the PE3? I have a PE3 on the way here. Well, it may not be on the way, but it's coming soon. One of the prototypes for me to check out from Jacob. Can't wait to get that thing in hand. That should give you guys a good idea on the size. The price on this in the knife sale is going to be $270. This knife originally, without the Zircotite kit, was $315 on River's Edge Cutlery. Plus, I think it was over $100 for the Zircotite kit, or right at $100. So, $270 on this knife is a freaking steal. If it was in my price range, I would own it, but it is currently not in my price range. Beautiful knife. Yeah, great one to add to the collection. If you didn't get one of these and missed out, here's your chance to get a great deal on one. And action's amazing. If you guys are familiar with A.Purvis, comment below another model I should try to check out, because I'm a big fan of this knife and I'd love to see what else he has out there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.